All right, welcome back. It's been a couple months, few months maybe.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
how you doing, Kofi?
Man, can't complain, sir. Life is going on, and I'm grateful to be here, man. Few home projects, family still over, so I'm enjoying it. How about you?
That's a blessing. You before I
Yes.
get into it, you want to go into any details on them projects that you're working on?
Oh, no, yeah, we were trying to build a deck in the backyard, try to expand the living space. If you're from the Northern Virginia area, you know how the housing market is. So we're
Hmm.
just trying to take advantage of where we are since moving doesn't seem plausible. So we just
Okay.
try to expand our space in that regard.
Did you need any kind of like extra license and extra crazy stuff for it? HOA
Yes,
approval?
absolutely. So we had to submit designs to HOA as well as the county because we were modifying the window structure and converting
Mm.
it to a sliding door. And then they had
Okay.
to approve the actual deck to make sure that, it was built safely. So that took a few approvals and things of that nature, and we're wrapping it up. But
Okay. That's
enough,
dope.
yeah, appreciate it, man. But enough about me. What's going on with you? I know you're Mr. Busy, Mr. Busy Man.
Man, I just coming off vacation, so I been relaxed the last couple of weeks. Have been thinking about work, Went on a cruise to
Okay.
Bermuda out of Baltimore.
Ooh.
Um, about 6 day, 5 day cruise. That was
Ooh.
really nice.
Okay.
I mean, I needed it too. And I was getting when I get like a little too strained, like I noticed like my eyes will start developing a little twitch. So that's why I know like
Mm,
I need to decompress and take a step back. So the vacation couldn't have been more perfectly timed because like work is really stressing me out. A lot of BS going on, a lot of mismanaged projects that I've been dumped in the middle of. So,
mm.
but I'm good, But this is my second day back at work, so
What was your favorite
making
thing
the best of
about
it.
what was your favorite thing about the trip?
That's a good question. What was my favorite thing about the trip and not having to think about work?
Probably that
Because
part.
literally, I forgot my password. Like yesterday, I was trying to log on, I forgot my password.
Yeah,
That's how good of a vacation was.
that is a good sign.
But
Absolutely.
Bermuda, I like going anywhere. I like to go somewhere new. That's what I love. Like see the culture, and just being in Bermuda for the first time. It's a small island, but it has a lot of history and it has a very interesting, diverse population. Even though it's not only about 60 to 70,000 people on the island, still has a lot of history and some culture. So it was interesting. I liked exploring Bermuda.
Beautiful. Well, welcome back. Glad you enjoyed it,
Thank you.
man. That's good.
I'm not really happy to be back in the States, but
And
we'll make do with what we got.
for now, till we get about this rat race.
You're right. All
Yeah.
right, so let's go right into it then. Let's
Yes,
see
sir.
what talk about some current events right now. I'm assuming you've seen Jurassic Park, right?
That I have. Yes.
Have you
Yes.
also seen the show Peaky Blinders?
That is on my to watch show somewhere
Okay.
far down the list, but I did hear that was a great show.
Yeah, yeah, it is a great show. But some unfortunate news. The actor Sam O'Neill, probably more known for the Jurassic Park series, the original series, and then came on the new movies, passed away. I want to say it was like 2 days ago
Mm,
at the age of 78 from some type of form of cancer.
mm.
But he was a great actor. I feel like it's Jurassic Park just give me this nostalgic feelings, even though it's not necessarily my favorite movie series. It just reminds me of like the 90s and it gives me that feeling.
100%. And I think some of that is attributed to the soundtrack and the da, 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 da. But yes,
Yeah.
and like you said, it looks like it was he was treating stage 3 blood cancer. It looked like it went
Yeah.
away.
Mm.
But then, I think he still passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I think about Jurassic Park, I think about Sam O'Neill and Jeffrey Goldblum. Like
Mm,
those, like it doesn't really matter what else they did from Jurassic Park. Like I was always associate them with the '90s and that Jurassic Park theme and earlier Samuel Jackson when he was just getting killed everywhere in all his movies before
yeah.
he was able to headline.
Right, right, right. Man, R.I.P. to Sam O'Neill. I wasn't even when I looked him up. having seen that movie maybe once or twice, like in a
Yeah.
distant past, I he was instantly recognizable. The whole fit
Yeah.
that he wore,
Mm-hmm.
like you could just
Yep.
tell, like you see him in that fit, oh, that's Jurassic Park. So
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
rest in peace. He contributed to some beautiful art for the world.
Absolutely. Unpopular opinion. I'm not a big dinosaur person to begin with, too. So the fact that I like Jurassic Park is, a big thing because I never really was into dinosaurs. I don't know about you, but when I first learned about them, they weren't something super interesting to me.
Mm. I think they're fascinating, but we definitely could. Man, there's a lot to talk about there. So I'll let you
Yeah.
continue with that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Also, we have last I think today there is another ice shooting with a individual that was not involved in the arrest. I think it was some type of traffic stop, and according to the sources, the person utilized their weapon or weaponized their vehicle and were was then shot by ICE and unfortunately passed away. I don't know too much of the details, but this is also coming off of last week's ICE shooting of a man in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that guy was part of the investigation who they were trying to detain. But from what I heard from that situation, he was maybe unsure of who was running up on him. Apparently, he was like with his work crew, and I don't know, you know how ICE rolls up with the mask and these undercover cars and stuff, and you know after that, some pursuit after that. I don't know if he fired on him first or they fired on him. But anyway, he's passed away as well. So, what do you
Yeah.
think about all these ICE shootings?
Unfortunate, and concerning. As you know, one of my things I try to do is nowadays I try to speculate based off of facts instead of emotion because I do have a
Mm,
lot of emotion. Um, I don't think I fully understand it enough to have a super strong opinion on it, but I think it's reasonable to want
mm,
to understand how this can happen. In the case of the first person that we mentioned, the 52-year-old Mexican national, it sounds
mm,
like he was not the target of the operation at all.
mm.
That's a costly mistake for someone who did not do anything wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's unfortunate, and investigations should undergo underway, and we should always try to improve, for the lives of the citizens of the United States and for people worldwide. What's your take?
I think it's just highlighting the inadequacies at positions, not even just like local positions at ICE, or it could even go up to the Department of Homeland Security. Because this event is not the first of its kind, and
Right,
not so near past. Like this happened not too long ago in this a similar fashion in Minnesota.
right.
I think it was Minnesota like last year, if it was that.
I think it was last year, yeah.
So when you don't at the like when you're head of your department and then the head of that department, let's say all the way up to the president, or you want to go to the head of the Department Homeland Security, when they don't set the standard or people don't get punished or there's not a priority to uh analyze, get factual information on what action transpired during these incidents or these interactions with, and a lot of these times they're U.S. citizens that aren't part of the investigations. These interactions with U.S. citizens that aren't part of the investigations, and then not politicizing that to try to make it always like you get it. They see an incident like that, they're going to immediately just get the back of the officer, right? So they're putting out this message that we're always going to have your back no matter what. It does seem like they're getting better at training the ICE officers. It does seem like they reported that, oh, we've had this incident. We are doing this in the training pipeline, or we're putting this flash training out to read the undo these wrongs that we've seen. It's just more so, okay, we'll stop patrolling for a little bit till people forget about it.
Mm.
Then they'll get back to what they're doing. Then something like this happens again. Then they're like, okay, we're going to stop traffic stops again.
Right,
And then
right.
after enough time passes, the people forget about it, or whoever forgets about it, or it's not such a big headline, then they'll just I don't hear anything changing in the training pipeline or what's being rewarded or what's being uh frowned upon or what's being what discipline is happening. So
Right.
I don't it's illogical that a change will be made if
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
already go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree with you. It seems to it registers like, what's effective, what's done for optics, and
Mhm.
where is the actual accountability that can actually make an impact? Like what has to be taken away to really discourage, that kind of behavior or this kind of outcome, right?
Yeah.
So, and we
Hmm.
know once things go above a certain level, it becomes political. Like, even at our jobs or wherever,
Yeah.
you might work, you might try to do the right, like Chernobyl. You see like some stuff is going down but what your boss is telling the other lead is, no, things are fine. And then you find out, there might be a reason. They might be aware, but they don't want to take ownership of it or liability, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
But staying on that same, moving on to another topic, but
Hmm.
different related to politics. So you also had the passing of the U.S. Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham,
Hmm.
um, longtime Republican senator, known by a lot of people as like Trump's right hand man, especially during his first term. Um, but how do you feel about, and this is one of the another thing, not even just from Lindsey Graham, uh, health transparency among politicians. So before Lindsey Graham suddenly passed away, people were questioning Senator Mitch McConnell's health situation. He kind of was like hospitalized, which he still is hospitalized, but people didn't hear from him. Didn't know if people assuming didn't know if he was still alive or not. And then also health concerns regarding the president. There's been reports that he might have visited the hospital over the weekend. I don't know if some people are saying it's another physical, which he just had a physical in May. I don't know how many physicals you get. And then, the Democratic senators have also had health issues. You've had Fetterman who's had, I think it was a heart attack or a stroke and some type of depression I think he was dealing with. And then like the House of Representative, the Democratic representative Jamie Raskin was dealing with cancer. Granted, those two individuals were a little bit more upfront about their health situation. But even with the last president, there was concerns over his health and people calling him Sleepy Joe and his age. And, we see Trump is now 80. So how do you feel it is there so politicians demonstrate a certain standard of health transparency that's above the normal civilian?
I feel like that's a fascinating question that I haven't put too much thought into it, but based on some notes that I was looking at, it seems to come down between basic privacy and then health transparency, like you said.
Hmm.
It does feel to me like, if I'm thinking out loud, if you're in a career or a role where it's critical, the safety of others is immediately critical, right? Like you're piloting a plane or something
Right.
along those lines, or you're operating in an emergency center where
Hmm.
reactiveness is required. I can see that being a concern. However, when it comes to politics, it seems to be baked into the system of it that, you have a successor, at least in the president's case, right? Like we understand that if the president
Mm.
passes, it falls
Yeah,
to the vice president. So it seems like there's something systemic there that,
that's a good point.
yeah, so that would be my argument, but I'm
So
not
let's
a, yeah,
so
yeah, hit
what
me.
so for the president, you're right. So for those public servant positions, president, vice president, secretaries of states or what have you be, they do have what's it called? What you just said,
Succession?
secession plans. But
Yeah.
like for the senators and the representatives, there's no secession plan. So like for example, when Lindsey Graham passed away, what two days ago, then it's I guess this I guess you could call it a secession plan, but really the governor of that state then appoints somebody as an interim senator.
Right.
So in this case, he appointed Lindsey Graham's sister, who has zero experience being a politician. Granted, we know that doesn't stop people from getting high level positions in politics in this country, but
Right.
that's just an example. So for in that situation, it's not necessarily a succession plan,
Right.
but I guess there is a process to fill that spot in the interim before you have either your regular midterm election or special runoff.
Exactly.
But the fact that they are public servants and they are serving the public and they are also elected by the public, does that then make
I see.
their health situations maybe more necessary to disclose?
That's such a good question. You know what's funny? I feel like in my heart I want to say more transparency because I don't want to defend politics or I don't necessarily know if that would, from the perspective of the people, it might give us more time to try to vote someone in, right? But being
Hmm.
that there's already division, it almost feels like I don't know what we would do with that information, right? Like, let's say we knew that Mitch McConnell was going to pass. Maybe I'll speak for myself as someone who's
Hmm.
not super well versed in politics. I wouldn't know what to do with that information rather than to use that to vote or to anticipate change, which may or may
Mm.
not even occur or happen in my favor, right?
Right. Right.
So I almost feel like I'd like transparency on more critical things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
that's that's true.
but nonetheless, it's still a fascinating question because, like you said, people are elected by the people, so the people ideally should know, the health of the people. Like, are they going to be
Yeah.
able to run? So it's a fascinating question. What's your take on it?
I kind of go back and forth on it, and like you, the points you make, I kind of agree with too as well. Because like with the information, we already know right now our politics are everything is weaponized. Like your
Hmm.
past is going to be weaponized. Any take that if you fall down some steps, like Joe Biden falling down steps or Trump falling asleep at games, like it's going to be used for some type of gain now. And
Hmm.
or even if somebody attacked you, we seen Trump attack other political figures because somebody attacked their house with a hammer and beat their husband's head in, or some random stuff. Like everything has been weaponized. So it's like if you once you do, let's say you had full transparency, you had to disclose every single condition. I can just see it now. Well, this person has sleep apnea. They don't care about their body, so they don't care about your vote. And I can see a commercial just going across. So like
Oh, that's
this person has
wild.
high blood pressure. How can he
You're,
run it? How you expect to run the country? He can't keep
dude.
his blood pressure down.
You're a
Stuff
hundred
like that.
percent correct because that's literally they take whatever they can in these. You
Anything.
thought battle rap was disrespectul? Somebody, and they play it right after Jeopardy, like
Man,
20 times. I'm like, okay, we get it. Well, but, no, but continue, please.
this man snores in his sleep or something like, it's just gonna be anything.
If he'll sleep on
Um,
you, he'll sleep on your politics.
yeah.
Vote this, bro. You're a hundred
and,
percent
and, he-
right.
and they rolling out the AI videos right now,
Oh
which
my
is too
God.
crazy to me, bro. It's like I saw an AI video it's against Spanberger. Like she effectively was putting a barn on fire.
Oh my
Like it's like,
goodness.
a farm or a barn. And she had like a grin or a smile while it was on fire or something like that. I'm like, how is
Dude.
that even allowed to take somebody's likeliness and then have them doing something foul, but using their exact image, using AI? Obviously, it's not an exact picture, but I feel like there should be some type of, I don't know, libel or
Yeah.
defamation or something. Like it has to be something.
And if not those things, just an acknowledgement of human decency, which doesn't seem to matter when it comes to the fight for power. Because
Does not matter.
I feel like we're raised to be, a certain way, like, just don't be an asshole, essentially, right? Like, be kind
Yeah,
to others. But you don't see that in these spaces
yeah,
at all. It's,
no. And a lot of people that's doing this claim to be good conservative Christians,
mm,
like Bible fearing people, criticize people for not being Christians. and this is what they do.
It's crazy,
It's
man.
crazy.
As some would say, nasty work.
Nasty work.
Mm,
Nasty work. That's all you can say.
yes.
But moving on, let's get to some sports stuff.
All
You been
right.
watching the World Cup?
Via proxy of my dad, yes, because my dad is an avid watcher. So when it's on, I watch it. So yeah, what you want
Okay.
to catch me up?
I mean, France just got eliminated, what,
I
an hour
saw that.
ago, 2 hours
Yeah,
ago?
yeah,
Sad. That was the last team I was going for, Mbappe, his father's from Cameroon.
yes. Shout out
He
to
got
Cameroon.
eliminated. Shout out to
Shout out to
Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Even though they didn't make the World Cup, shout out to them anyway.
Hey, they made it far.
They didn't make it
Pardon me.
anywhere.
Through him, through him, not the
Like,
overall
yeah,
team.
I
Through
guess,
him,
yeah, yeah, through him
through
for
him, through
sure.
him, through him. Yeah,
Absolutely,
you're right.
absolutely.
You're right.
He's going to be the African goat once it's all said and
Oh,
done.
100%.
Um, but yeah, the World Cup. I feel like no other World Cup have I been this locked in before, and
Mm,
and it's like it's interesting because we're in a lot of the same of the same group chats,
yeah, 100%.
so people are typically going for teams, either based off we are talking about Americans at that too, like so most of us are not real soccer fans for real, we just
Right.
we
Casual.
break it out,
Yeah,
festive type time.
for sure.
But people go for teams either because of the player or because of the perceived the history of a country,
For sure.
or or the country just being the African nation. So it's like I remember watching even to this day, like my dad's a big soccer fan. But I remember he used to always say, "Oh no, this country is racist," or they
Mm,
did this. And I know we were in the same group, and people were like, going against certain countries because certain history.
mm,
But in my head, I'm like, really, every country, and could say that about the United States right now. They're like, you can imagine somebody like in Morocco or somebody in Cape Verde, like, oh, it's U.S. playing. They're racist as hell. Look at what their president's doing.
mm.
Look at what their policies they're passing. Look at what happened.
Damn.
So it's like how
Damn.
can we how
Yeah.
can we look at a country and say, oh, they got colorism going on?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go for them. It's like we can't even root for ourselves. If that's the case.
Ooh,
So it's
man.
like it's funny. It's like we,
That's tough.
So I don't want to go that deep on that because we just want to talk about the World Cup. But I just thought that was interesting. Um,
Man, that's a good argument, man. And it shows the helplessness of people who are overgeneralized. Because
yeah,
yes, if you judge a country based on your perception of its
yeah,
history, which
yeah,
might not be tied to individuals, then there
right,
might be the kindest people in a country that you perceive as so it's tough, man, but we all got that feeling deep inside, like,
yeah. I got the
yeah,
feeling. I'm not saying I'm not without it either. I'm just like it's. I sit back and think about it because I'm always going to go for an African nation. That's a
yeah,
bias I have.
yeah,
You know,
same.
I'm going to go
Even
for U.S. as well, but African nations were real. Like I want them to see go far.
and
Go
even
ahead.
the African teams disguised as non-African teams, if you know what I mean.
Sure, and I know what you're talking about.
I was
Um,
like, dang, you take the labels away. I don't know what team this is. Is this France or
right,
Ghana? What's going
but
on?
like you
Or
said, it's
Cameroon?
everything. Like it's
It's crazy, bro.
but it's all mixing together. But
Yeah.
another thing about the World Cup, now it's interesting, but at the same time, it can be very boring, and it can be FIFA and how they officiate and all the controversies. It just comes across kind of like similar, corrupt, kind of similar to boxing, where those judges like, oh, we really want Mayweather, Pacquiao, or Shakur to win tonight. We're gonna call it 119 to 111, and it's just going to be off the wall type stuff. Where in soccer, oh, here's a red card for this. Here's a yellow, it's a penalty kick. Or after the game, no, we're going to rescind that red card so such and such can play.
Mm.
Which sets a crazy standard. Like it's like terrible for the sport. Like it seems like everybody knows this except for these people that have been either elected or I don't know how these officials get to be where they have to make that decision, but it's like to reverse a call like that for for the United States, it sets a bad precedence for future controversial calls. So it's now saying like you can literally buy a decision, and then Trump doesn't help when he's sitting there bragging, "Oh yeah, I called him up after that. I talked to him. I told him he needed to reverse that, and he reversed it. So he's taking credit for that.
Super nasty work. That's a
Very
different game. We're watching soccer. They're watching
man,
power, like real power plays in a
man. I'm
different.
telling you,
Yeah, I don't like that either. No. What's the
yeah,
point? What's the overall point?
yeah.
Like, yeah.
But we have Spain going to face the winner of Argentina and was it England? Yeah, yeah. Argentina and England is going to face Spain in
Okay.
the World Cup, and then they'll have that loser face France for the third place, if I remember correct.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We wrapping it up. I did see a note where you talked about flopping, and man, I gotta say, because
Oh my goodness.
I'm not an avid soccer fan or
Yeah.
football fan, but when I see somebody tumble and scream holding their
Oh
knee,
my goodness.
and then once everybody runs the other way, he gets up like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I want to throw a shoe at my TV, man. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? Like that? Are we acting? What? Like it's almost as bad as the Trump thing you mentioned.
Yeah.
That
It's the
is
same. It's the
crazy.
same way of thinking. It's like you said, people should have some common understanding, like to just be have some type of common good.
Yeah,
Sportsmanship is about the same is about the same thing. Like you play sports to have, you know, everybody have an equal chance of winning and
right.
not unnecessary take corners just to win by any means. But I feel like, and it's
Right.
just this is not just like soccer. It's basketball. It's football now. But
Right.
basketball is suffering a lot from this. It's like by any means necessary now. Flopping is not part of the sport. Like you don't
Mm-mm.
train it, but now they are training for people to flop,
That's crazy.
which is already saying you don't really care about sportsmanship. You just really care about winning. If that's the case, play a sport that you just win every single time.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. But maybe I mean, there's so much on the at stake where it's like
I don't
that whole
care, man.
problem of 10 people are doing it, so if I don't
Yeah.
do it, and then now we all got to
Yeah.
do it, and then if you don't do it, you're gonna lose anyways. Oh my goodness, it's
Somebody has to
compounding.
be somebody has to be the Martin Luther King or some type of, whatever leader stand up and not do it and just
That
die on the hill and just, hopefully enough people will just come over. But like before we run out of time, I want to make sure we get into your topics as well.
No, no worries. It's funny. Mine was an older one. Before I do that, you did have something interesting here.
Hmm.
Um, actually, the movies and the privilege guilt, such as vacations. So
Hmm.
I kind of wanted to hear your take on that real quick.
Which one? All right, privilege guilt. So I just told you I came off a cruise.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've been on a cruise, but or you probably been to a
Nope.
resort.
I've been to a
But they
resort,
are,
yes.
they're, depending on if you let's say a cruise, it's going to be heavily international as far as the workforce. Like it'll be from Philippines, Thailand,
Hmm.
various parts in Africa. A lot of kind of not saying all poor countries, but a lot of them are coming from poor countries that's trying to get opportunity to make money. They're working crazy schedules, maybe working 6 or 8 months out the year. And then it's very they have to try to get these contracts every year. So in the resort, let's say you're at Cancun, there's locals and also possibly international people at that resort that's like, serving you almost hand and foot, especially all inclusive resorts, getting you food, giving you tips, entertaining you at the same time. Like sometimes I get this, I mean, a lot of times, every time I go to a resort or a cruise, I get guilt.
Yeah.
When I'm on a cruise, I'm like, am I the people from Titanic, like the ones that were like up in the, the ballroom and wearing the tuxedos and stuff?
Yeah.
Um, so guilt comes over me. It's like I'm like I shouldn't be. I enjoy myself still, but it's like I do then try to over tip or talk to them, hear their story. Like I try to do things to like okay, at least this gives them opportunity to eat, and I want to also help pay it forward, not just like just take from them or give them any type of attitude, but also it was like why how did I deserve this to be in this position to sit around and be you know waited upon by another human being who's older than me probably and has all these kids and has all these bills and I'm just having the best time of my life. You ever experienced that feeling, or what's your thoughts on it?
100%. I know I agree with that, and I think that's something that should be examined a lot deeper. Um, I feel that in my even like in my career, like I'm grateful to have a job, and I think about some of the younger guys coming out who are having a hard time finding jobs due to
Hmm.
AI, due to just the job saturation. And then, yeah, when you go to places like that, just based on our luck for being born here and finding the opportunities that we were able to afford ourselves,
Right.
granted, we did have to put work in, but there are people in other places who put probably more work in potentially. I won't speak for
Right.
you, I'll speak for myself. People who work way harder than me, but just because of
Absolutely.
where they were born, they don't have that opportunity.
Right.
And that hurts. It does hurt. And but I know that I have to do something about it. So kind of like what you alluded to, when you try to overtip or you try to, pay it forward. But at the same time, you also might not want to be taken advantage of or fall into anything that, someone will try to scam you. But
Hmm.
it's very tough. And I don't know the solution for that. Like I was watching a YouTube video a few months ago, and the guy alluded to a theology or, sorry, a philosophy, where the idea of enjoying luxuries
Hmm.
is problematic and that no one should enjoy luxuries. I'll have to
Mm.
find it because I'm paraphrasing
That's
it, but
interesting.
I
Okay.
thought I found it very fascinating. It was kind of like if you enjoy a luxury, you're in the wrong already. And
Mm.
it made you think like, well, if everyone felt that way, resources could be redistributed. But then that goes
Absolutely.
into so many things. But yes,
But but
yeah,
then also like the luxury part of resorts and cruises or stuff along that nature provides opportunities for people to make money
there's that too.
where those
Yes,
opportunities would so let's say we got rid
yes,
of all the luxuries, right?
yeah. What jobs would they?
That's cutting
Yeah,
yeah, that's cutting off a industry like a very thriving industry. You're talking about
one
tourism, you're talking about whatever luxury related um maybe airlines, it's cutting the industry. So then where is that job? Where is that money or where's that opportunity then going to come from?
right,
If
right,
there's already
right,
a shortage to begin with, that's why would drive some people to go the servicing route because you depending on your position you might not need so robust of a skill set.
right, 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 right.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating, man. Oh man.
And is it even realistic to not for humans to say we don't want it to not have luxury at all? I don't think that's a realistic idea, but it is interesting just to think about and to talk through.
You know,
Yeah.
I think some people have found it through service to other people. They might have, like how some people might have the philosophy of they find their happiness in giving back or helping others. Or you'll hear about such and such person was a multi-million dollar lawyer who
Hmm.
gave it all away to go and work at a clinic in some area where he found, or he or she may have found more fulfillment in helping human lives rather
Mm.
than the stresses they dealt with. Um, and and then we know like some of the best things in life are free, like taking that walk. Even just acknowledging like, hey, I have all my appendages. I'm not in like constant pain.
Hmm.
So I think we have an ability to rationalize a luxury for ourselves, assuming that, assuming you're not working a trash job where it's like, dang, I got to be here 10 hours. Because then, of course, you need something to offset it. But I wonder how much power
Hmm.
we have internally to acknowledge the things that we already have as luxurious based on
Yeah,
what little we could have.
that's another topic because when you say luxury, people think it's just the cruises, the resorts, maybe the expensive car, but it's also AC, like not being efficient
100%.
with your AC or not having running blackouts. It's having electricity
Mm,
at availability at whenever you want it. It's
yep,
about being able to run your hot showers as hot as you want them for as long. Those are all luxuries. It's,
100%.
you know, even just be able to sit down and not have to work so hard is a luxury. So it's like when you say what are actual luxuries in the world, then that's like a whole nother over branching topic, you
Mm,
know.
100%.
All right. So we gotta get to the infamous Kofi gym story. What you got?
All right, man. So I'm a little embarrassed to share it. It
Uh-oh.
kind of reveals my
Uh-oh.
occasional timid nature. Let me see if I can recall it. So I was with a trainer at their facility, or at a facility they share with their community.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like that gym is only allowed to be used by people that live in that community. Now,
Okay.
this person trains a bunch of people, so she might have someone training. She might be training someone before. They'll leave, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll come in. She'll let me in the door. So there was this guy that was standing outside, and she didn't recognize him. And he was kind of lingering, like he was waiting for someone to let him in. Because if you live there, you have the code. So
Right.
you just put the code in. Unless you're a guest from somebody, then that person will let you in. So as we were leaving, he kind of flies by his boom, like shoom, flies right inside. And then she calls him out and she's like, "Excuse me, do you live here?" And he was like, "What?" And she said, "Do you live here?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I don't think you do." So me being, not enjoying confrontation, and I'm like, "This ain't even none of my business. I'm not trying to be here right now." Uh, he kind of got frustrated. And I'm like, oh man, something about to happen.
And you're the only
Um,
male present on the
I,
other side.
I'm the male president on the other side. Um, but I kind of like encourage her to like, let's keep walking because I don't think you should engage it. So at the end of all of it, we kind of walked away. He went inside. He said something smart to her.
Mm.
My whole thing was don't take on risk on behalf of your like this is an amenity that's afforded
Right.
what you pay to your to the apartment.
Right.
They need to handle security. Don't put yourself in the line of fire where someone can, cause you harm.
Right.
Plus, you don't know if he lives there or not. But her
Mm-hmm.
rationale was she trains other people, she trains girls, and she doesn't want, like, if she brings like a female to the gym and they're by themselves, she doesn't want to be responsible for letting someone who doesn't
A
live there.
stranger in. Yeah.
Yeah. So in my situation, I'm like, I feel like you need to let the apartment handle that. Let them install cameras. Let them update the security. Unless you work for them, I don't think you
Mm-hmm.
should be putting yourself at risk. But I can also admire her trying to be protective of the people who live there. But then at the
Yeah.
same time, she doesn't know if he's there. So does she have a right to call him out? Right. So I just didn't like the whole thing. I wanted to see what your take was on it.
I mean, I think she has a point. Um, uh, and I usually am more along your line, like especially when was younger. Like I don't even now I don't really care about people tailgating.
Yeah.
And but now I do acknowledge like that is a safety threat, you know. You don't know who you're letting in. Like that person could be a stalker trying to get access to somebody, or they could be somebody robbing or anything. Um, so I can get I get what you say, right? That's I've never been in that exact scenario, but I have had people tailgate behind me, and honestly have tailgated in people's apartments too. Like if somebody's taking too long to come downstairs and somebody's getting door dashed real quick, they let me in. Like I've
Yeah.
done tailgating myself, and I've allowed people to tailgate too without. Do you live here? Don't tailgate
Right.
me. Like because any type of engagement, especially like that, and especially if you saw how he reacted, then it can kind of like go south.
Right.
Maybe see some people are more comfortable that. doing stuff like that. I noticed that some girls don't have that hesitation because typically, and this is a generalization. Typically, they're not having to deal with like uh the ramifications of confronting another man. It's not often that a
Mm,
man will put his hand on a woman. That's not really that often. So a lot of times, like they
right,
can talk kind of loosely or whatever. Where when we engage with somebody we don't know, we are always thinking like, it could go south. So I gotta be ready forever for
right,
whatever. So to prevent myself getting into a situation, I will just avoid an unnecessary situation, unnecessary interaction,
right, right, right,
right? Because
right,
I know once it goes there, I'm gonna have to take it there. That's gonna be my, that's I initiated, somebody initiated back at me. Either I fold or walk away, or I handle it. And he
right,
said something too crazy, then it's like, then I'm running out of, there's not going to be many opportunities to walk away, or he'll approach, or somebody approaches or put hands on you. Then it's
right.
like you're in a situation you got to do something.
Yep.
So I would say like she's not necessarily wrong. I don't think it's the safest for her. I don't know. Maybe she's a good size she can handle. Maybe she's trained she can handle. She's a personal trainer, so maybe she knows some stuff where
Yeah, I was.
she waiting for somebody to come back at her a certain way.
I think so. She's from uh Bulgaria.
Oh,
She's very tough.
okay.
So I would
Americans ain't nothing to that, man. What are you talking about?
nah, but the other guy he was low key brolic. But you know what's
Them gym muscles usually be the first ones to fold that can't fight. They
you're
can't
right,
touch
you're
their
right.
back. How they gonna throw a proper punch?
You're right, you're right, you're right. But the funny thing is, I think they're cool now. I won't go into too much detail, but I don't know if he was trying to, if he has some kind of interest in her or not, or along with the other girls in that area. So it's
Mm.
definitely not that. It's not a negative energy no more. It's a weird energy. But
So
okay, yeah.
I'm wondering, like, from that story, was it so? I thought you were saying it from the standpoint of like, why are you talking to this dude like this when I might have to do something? But when you asked when you said your point of view, and you asked the question, it seemed like you were saying in general she shouldn't be worried about doing the community's work. So are you saying that the I might have to step up and do something didn't play a role into how you felt about?
Oh no, not a little bit. I think that was
Okay,
part of it because it's like I'm not going to tolerate violence against my trainer and my friend like while
yeah.
she's there. So I'm gonna have to jump in, and even if it gives me anxiety, I got to do something. But more
And
so too. Oh no, go ahead. What's your question?
I know I'm letting you finish.
No, I'm just saying, I feel like because of the language barrier, the way that she asked him had a certain energy. So
Mm,
like, if your objective is to see whether he's there or not, whether he lives there or not, maybe
yeah.
she could have had a more gentle approach, like, "Oh, hey, they would have sent you an email. Do you not have the email for the code?" As
Mm,
opposed to saying, "Do you live here? I don't think you live here. You don't know everyone that lives there." So we're like
yeah.
already kind of not.
But why does he not have the code too? But so she does have a point. Why you not have a code and you say you live there?
But see, I think she should have led with that as opposed to because if you just look at someone like I might have just moved in and might not know there was a code. But had she been
Okay.
like, "Oh, hey, they're gonna email you," I'm like, "Oh, I bet." Or she'll call me out on it and I'm wrong, right? And I'm like, "Damn, I gotta run away and hide in the shadows or something."
Uh,
But I just feel like the way she came across could have
Okay.
invited something.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm not good at those situations, so I think you're right too, and I think she's. I have to give her props for being heroic because that's you're being heroic. You just got to do it right. Don't have nobody stab you or something over
Yeah.
something that's not your responsibility
It's
necessarily.
almost like the situation like you out with your girl and she starts talking crazy to like another dude or a group of dudes without like consulting you first, or not saying like but
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
type of scenario,
yeah.
like. And then I don't know, I don't necessarily talk to my girls that I've been with, or that I've been out and about, like, hey, don't do this or don't do this. But luckily, like, I feel like the girls I talk to have enough sense, like you ain't going to just be talking crazy and get me up into something. But they, I've seen other situations where girls have got their dudes knocked out,
Mm.
and
Oh
it doesn't
man.
seem like they have much much decision making in the whole process that led to being knocked out. It's just like, well, I got to step in now, and boom,
And then
boom, boom, it's over with.
just
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I feel like those situations is kind of messed up.
100%.
Like it, even in your scenario, like I feel like since you were the only man there, and like we're expected to always, in that if he had approached, I feel like there's expectations for you to do something. That should
Low
have been like,
key.
okay, yeah, absolutely.
Low
There ain't
key.
no low
Yeah,
key
yeah, yeah,
because like
yeah.
it's still setting you up. Even if we don't even have to be girlfriend and boy. We could just be out, be friends, or say even if it could even be a random person that a man comes to the aid for, to the aid of a girl for.
Right, 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 right.
So and also I've been in. I can't. It's funny that I just thought about. I've been in situations with my sister, kind of similar to that. One of my sisters, like when we used to back in this is like years ago, like when we used to hang out and party and club together, like one of them would get a little bit too loose and start talking reckless and stuff, and get me in a situation. But
Bro.
it is interesting.
It is. I too have been pulled into something and it was bad. Like I went somewhere, somebody was trying to, holler at my, you know, and and then somebody else pointed it to me and was like, "Are you gonna do something about it?" I was like, "Oh shit, yo, no lie." And the dude
Somebody
was
puts you on the spot.
they put me on the spot, bro, and it was like a group of a women who were with us. And
Oh,
as soon as
ooh,
they all looked at me like I'm supposed to kill
ooh.
this man. As soon as I look at him, because he was tipsy. This was in Philly. Yo, my heart started beating out of my chest. And I went up and said, what I said? I said something along the lines of,
Hey yo, B, what's up, B? That's
no.
it.
I said, what happened? And then he said,
Uh,
what's up? And I said, what happened? Like I was legit asking what happened. And he took it like, what's up? Like he was
he
gonna,
took it like fighting words. Like he said,
yeah.
"What's up with it then?
And somebody came in
What you
between us.
on?"
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not on nothing. Like that was embarrassing for me.
I'm sure you was happy when that person got in between, bro.
I was more upset. I felt humiliated. It's like,
Oh,
why,
but you
is
stood up
this?
though. You stood up though.
Well, I went to try to get clarification, and then he
Yeah,
tried
but
to
you ain't
fight
got
me.
to say that. Nobody got to know that. They
That's
could have just
true.
thought you was like, "What's up with it? What's up?"
You're right. You're right,
Asking the real
man.
question. Be like,
I still felt bad though. My fear is swinging and missing. If I don't connect with that jaw initially,
bruh,
and I feel like the my heart
you
beating
just
is gonna
slammed
make me move slower than I
you
think.
just slammed MMA instructors in college.
Nah,
You
that
just
was
fear
that
of
was a
missing what?
that was an accident.
That was not an accident.
That
You
was an
don't pick
accident.
somebody up above your head and slam them like Rampage
I did
Jackson.
I didn't do all
A
that.
dude who was he not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master or something?
Nah, man. He was trying to demonstrate kindness and he was allowing me to try a move that happened to work because he allowed it. But I appreciate you trying to paint me in that light,
What
man.
was his qualifications?
I think he was the instructor, but I don't.
I'm saying like, well, he's black belt, Brazilian
He might
Jiu-Jitsu
not have been a
master or
black
something.
belt, honestly. I don't think he was a master. I think he was just an instructor. And he was smaller than me too, so
All right. That's okay.
appreciate it though. Have you ever been in a situation where the hands had to fly?
Uh, so I haven't been in a situation where I actually like had to swing on somebody since maybe like high school, beginning of high school.
Yeah,
But I
that's
have
good.
like been in grappling situations, like grabbing and holding people and saying stuff like that, squaring up. But it's like never had to be go to hands, which is good. Like I never took boxing, so it's like I don't know what would happen.
You
I
gonna
know I'm
learn
gonna
on
let
the
them
spot.
fly.
They
Yeah,
gonna
I
fly.
know them let them fly.
They gonna land somewhere.
Like like you said, they could every last one of them gonna miss, but they gonna
They
go.
gonna fly. Yep, you in there.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I think it's just been lucky because it's been random situations. There's like a riot situation right before I joined the Navy. Like we used to throw house
Mm,
parties in Richmond,
yeah.
and like these local Richmond dudes. And it man, I mean it's probably be another episode. It's like this whole story, man. I saw it from the and it initiated between a girl and a boy.
Mm.
Like it had nothing to do with me, my cousin who and his roommates that had that's their spot. It all to do with this random girl there. She disrespected this dude. See, first she was like, "Oh, do I know you or do I know you?" And she was in front of her girls. And it's like, "Oh, I don't know you. You ugly as hell, boy," or something like that.
Wow. Why
And then
why
he
would you
was
lead
like,
with that? That's crazy.
"It's somebody she don't even know." So
See
then
that? You just hurting
that
feelings. Damn.
sparked from him getting mad. Now he's like, "Yo, me and my dudes, we hit females or whatever."
Oh,
They
Jesus
going at it.
Christ.
So then my cousin, he trying to, trying to be a, trying to keep it calm. Like, okay, y'all are. He didn't see what was all going on, so he's like, "Yo, y'all are messing with the female, so y'all gotta go."
Yeah,
And
good
then
call. I can
not
respect that.
even the dude that was arguing with the girl, his guy, another guy, was like trying to act tough, said something to my cousin. They started swinging at each other.
Mm.
So
Oh
then they
God.
get into it. Then some people behind him, like they was about to jump him. So I ran into the crowd. Me, his roommate, his two roommates ran into the crowd, grabbing people up, grabbing bottles. They was about to hit him with a bottle and stuff.
Jesus.
And this is like right before I was going to the Navy. That was one of the signs like, yeah, I need to go to the Navy. I
Get
need
up
to
out
get
of
from
here.
around here.
Yeah, good call. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Shout
Yeah, it
out
was another.
to the guy who said, "All right, well, you guys got to go because we're not going to condone that. That we got to talk about that more, like doing the right thing."
But it's like
So
they
yeah,
necessarily won't even in the wrong. That girl took it extra as she was trying to be cool in front of her friends. And this
yeah,
is also back like we 2021. So, we everybody's just trying to learn their own way and try to, get their projected character out there, I guess.
well, yeah,
But yeah, we don't have to belabor
100%.
the point. But there's been a few situations that, and at the be, to the defense of girls that I've been involved with.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I hadn't had actually. I think the last time I did, yeah, I did swing on somebody. I think, yeah, well, it wasn't the cause of a girl, but that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. But we ain't got to talk about that now.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. That's
Let's,
high school. No worries. No worries.
yeah,
I was just curious.
let's move
Yeah.
on to another topic.
Okay.
You still got time to go? You good?
Yeah, yeah. We got one more. I can hear
Okay.
the feet upstairs running across the
Oh,
living room.
okay. So let's
But
let's talk about some new movie, TV shows, podcasts. What you got?
all right, shoot, we could jump right in there. So, there's been a lot of commotion around Obsession and Backrooms. Those seem to be movies that were, I don't know if directed or produced by, I guess, the younger guys, as opposed to the directors we're accustomed to. Saw both of them, really enjoyed
Okay.
both films, thought they were very good. The one weird thing, which kind of is not related to those films in particular, that
Hmm.
I didn't realize was the difference between Regal and AMC. So from where I live, Regal is way more available because it's at the Springfield Mall, it's at the
Hmm.
Kingstown Center, and I would see movies there. It would be cool. Every time I go to AMC Hoffman Center, I feel like I have a way nicer film experience. And I realized what
Mm.
it was. Like
What's that?
the screen, the colors, the saturation is way more punchy. It's not as
Okay.
comfortable seating, but how it's captured and displayed on the screen with the colors and the audio is way better. And so I realized, like, do I want to go all the way to AMC to watch further out to get the movie in full 4K HD, or do I want to have a more comfortable seat?
Mm.
So it was just something I never really thought about, like AMC versus Regal. But yeah,
And
that
does the seating also play in a role? Because the comfortable seating obviously puts you closer to falling asleep than not falling asleep. So the less comfortable seating, would that have you more in tune with the movie, more
I
attention?
see what you're saying to an extent, but I think the screen itself pulled me in more than the seating
Okay,
because I was so pulled in, I didn't even mind being uncomfortable.
got you,
So like I would definitely pick the uncomfortable seating if the visual quality is going to be way better.
got
But
you.
yeah, that's probably been it for me in terms of movies. And then the last great TV show I really enjoyed was it was the HBO Welcome to Derry. Yeah,
Welcome to Dairy. Okay,
yeah. So how
and
about you? Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry, the first two movies you said Obsession and what's the other one?
Backrooms.
Backrooms?
Hmm.
Is there like a synopsis on them, or you know?
Yeah, the overall synopsis of Obsession, it has to do with following, I don't want to, so spoiler free, it follows a boy who is interested in a girl and buys a product that can kind of make something happen that he wants, but it's not what he
Uh,
expects. So I'll keep it
okay.
at that. And then Backrooms kind of is based off of
Not just to interrupt real quick.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It looks like Obsession had like a less than $1 million budget. It's like 750,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does it? Do you think that makes sense for the movie that you saw, or do you think they did a lot with less, or you think they
They
could have?
they did a lot with less, in my opinion. I
Okay,
think I mean I think people overhyped it in sense of it being the best horror movie in the decade. I wouldn't go as far as to say that,
the
but
decade. Jeez.
yeah,
Oh my
they
goodness.
kind of had like the whole J. Cole being, like J. Cole's the greatest rapper I've ever heard in my life. And
Right.
it's like, okay, cool.
Right. Right.
It was a great movie. I feel like they did a lot with storytelling, a lot with the
Okay.
pacing, a lot with dialogue. It didn't need all these fancy effects. So I think it was great storytelling. And then if
Okay.
you delve deeper into it, there's some deep parts.
I
Yeah.
don't know any of these actors, but I do know the actors from Backrooms. These are more familiar faces.
Yes, but speaking of the actors in Obsession, give them all awards. The main
Okay.
character guy, the main character girl killed it. Especially the
Okay.
girl killed it. She got to
And
get
they
something.
probably, I mean, 750,000, they probably weren't getting paid that much for their
Man,
role compared
I
to Backrooms, where it's $10 million budget, but I can see very notable faces in here.
yes. What's the guy's name? I know he
I'm
I
not even
just
going to try to pronounce that.
I like to consider him what's dude from Four Brothers? What's
12
his
years.
name?
Oh my god. That's a so he that was an underrated role for him.
Yes, it
That's
was.
like one of my favorite villain roles ever is Four Brothers. When he had the homeboy eat the food off the ground and had
Man,
his wife join him there.
yes.
Eat! You want to act like a dog? Eat!
That was crazy.
Get down there with your man. Oh my! Did
He
I
was great.
hire? He said you don't pay a prostitute for sex. You pay her to leave. I hired
Yes.
out of town shooters.
He was a cold
He
Victor
was
Sweet. That was his name. Victor Sweet in there. Um,
also a 12 years a slave. He was the main role.
that one I did not see.
It was really good.
I might need to watch that when I feel okay
It'll probably
being
make you
depressed.
mad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll make you mad.
Yeah. But yeah, what about you though, man? What have you seen?
Um, let's see, movies. Is there any movies that I'm usually watching old school movies. There's a movie I told y'all about, Stranger Days.
You
That's what
said it
I
was
was
the
talking about.
sci-fi aesthetic, right?
Yeah, it's like a dystopia setting
Yeah.
on like futuristic life in the a lot of United States or the world at the time. Really, in the movie, it was only like, I mean, Strange Days, not Stranger Days, but it really was only like 1999. I don't know if you remember back in 1999, like on the eve of 2000, everybody was freaking out
Yeah.
because they feel like the
Y2K.
computers were going to not be able to account for the zeros, and yeah,
Right.
Y2K stuff world was going to collapse. So it's like in a dystopia science fiction world where I mean, I guess I can give spoiler alerts. It's from the movies from 1995.
Yeah, go for it.
If you played Cyberpunk, which I like Cyberpunk, it's also dystopian world and a futuristic world where you have flying cars, you have, world hunger. You had, I think there was like an atomic bomb that came and wiped out the humanity, and then they are rebuilding on like the ashes of like the barren desert, but it's
Mm.
high tech now. Um, but there's this thing also in Cyberpunk where you can record memories, so somebody can experience something, but you can actually record the feelings and the visuals and all the senses when somebody goes through it, and then another person could play that back. So they also had something similar in Black Mirror, I
Yep.
think, in one of the episodes.
I feel like that was like
So
episode 2 or 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was one of them early ones.
Yeah.
So people kind of like, you know, drug dealers or some type of person, they deal these type of technologies, and they can get as raw as somebody robbing and killing somebody and getting that feeling and having somebody play that over, or having sex with a beautiful girl and stuff like that, but they're doing weird stuff, doing drugs and stuff like that. So it's a really good movie. It has a lot of known OG actors from it. Ralph Fiennes from The Menu, Angela Bassett, Juliette Lewis, Tom Sizemore, rest in peace. Vincent D'Onofrio. A lot of people in there. It's like even more than that. Just that. I feel like it didn't get as much notoriety as it probably should have. It also is the story was done by James Cameron, so that should
Oh,
tell you
okay.
everything you need to know about it.
There you go. Yeah.
Um, so
Looks like
that
it's on
as far
Disney Plus. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go
that's why I
ahead.
watched it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's why I watched
cool.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna find time for that one.
Um, but not safe for work and not safe for kids. You know,
Oh,
there's
okay.
a lot of nakedness in there.
Well, that is good to know. Thank you for that heads up.
Yeah, even though it's on Disney Plus,
Disney
you got
Plus.
to know that. Yeah.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right.
but other than that, TV shows, I've been watching. What's it called on Netflix? It's I can't remember what it's called. Something Shadows on Netflix, but it's like Native Americans on a reservation. They have a policeman that's going around solving murders and weird cases. Really dope. I can't
Was
remember what it's
it
called.
Dark Winds?
Dark Winds. Yep,
There
that
you
is.
go.
I love that show. Like the first
Ah,
season was amazing. Like I pretty much watched that in like 2 days. Binge watched the first season in 2 days.
I've never heard of this. Okay.
Yeah, I just stumbled across it. And
Ah.
then on the podcast or on YouTube, there's this. I don't know if you've seen the Jubilee YouTube channel, but they
Hmm.
do debates. Okay, yeah, they do the 20 versus one.
Debates and rage baits. Yes.
What's that? The rage bait? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like 20 conservatives versus
yeah,
one
yeah.
liberal, that type of
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I feel like what's dope about it, they do fact checking, which I feel like
Mm,
that's like one of my pet peeves is misinformation. And
mm.
I get down with facts and people making points. So they're 20 versus one or uh other debates, there's other formats. They have fact checking, but typically it wasn't real time. It was like, when they edited it, they would put the real fact on the side when somebody made a claim that had to be fact checked. But
Mm.
now they have this format, another show on their channel where they have live fact checking, which is amazing to me. Like that was an idea I've told multiple people about. Like
Ah.
I wanted, if I would do a show on YouTube, like with, a debate show, there would have to be some type of fact checking there. Like my idea was like it'd be like similar to like a court case, like somebody would be a judge and they would like call people out for or pause them to fact check and call them out for not, adhering to a good lively debate. But look like they are trying this new format with live fact checking, and they have a moderator, and then
Ah.
people can score points on. Uh, so so let's say that there's a team of four people, one person from each team debate each other at a time. The people that aren't debating can call challenges to ask for a fact check, and then once they fact check, if it's right or wrong, that team will get a point, and then eventually, like one team will win. Which I
Hmm.
love that format.
That should be like a
Fact.
standard for all conversations.
It should be. Fact
Yeah.
checking needs to be a standard in all type of public formatting where you're debating any type of topics. I feel like
Yeah.
people just be saying anything these days.
Man, and if it
Absolutely
sounds
anything.
good and it has the right vocabulary with it, you could be swayed 100%.
Absolutely.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
nothing's new under the sun. So if you still want to do that idea, you could still make it your own.
Yeah, we could. We just got to find the people that are willing to participate.
That there's a
Yeah.
problem.
Because, I mean, I mean, people naturally in our circles, people already naturally debate, but debating by being recorded is a whole nother thing.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Well, did you have any
Yeah.
last remaining topics?
I think the only thing when you were talking about the podcast that made me think of there's somebody I've been kind of tuned into on YouTube named Gary Stevenson. Have you heard of him?
I have not. Gary Stevenson.
Yeah, so he I got exposed to him when he was on a debate on I forget what the show is called. It's the oh man. I don't remember. So, but he was talking with other multimillionaires, and he was talking
Okay.
about how it's important to tax the rich in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be a trader, and he made
Okay.
millions of dollars in trading, and
Okay.
started a YouTube channel. And he studies economics, and he
Okay.
was talking about the importance of taxing the super wealthy, because if you don't, they're going to buy up all the assets,
Yeah.
essentially squeezing the middle class into extreme lower.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's gained a lot of traction, and he's just had a documentary come out on Channel 4 for the UK, and he's had a lot of conversations. And it just made me think about a lot of, there's a lot that I don't know about, even in terms of the United States economy. When I think about AI, which not to be a doomerist, but, if there is a cost in terms of accessible, like job accessibility for some people. So if
Mm-hmm.
you couple that with us having a trillionaire also, and nothing is stopping the trillionaire from buying up everything, or
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean for the next 10, 20, 50, 100,
Yeah.
thousands of years in terms of when we talk about the guilt that we feel like when we go to certain places, and even though it provides opportunities for people to work, how much can they build off of that? So I just thought that was fascinating. I definitely recommend it. People look up Gary Stevenson. I'm not educated enough on the topics he speaks about to know to definitively say I agree 100%. I tend to off of feeling, but I also want to do my due diligence and research. So yeah,
Yeah. I respect that, and it sounds from just basic what you said, it sounds something that I agree with. I don't believe in trickle down economics
right.
where you like could give tax breaks to the higher ups, the upper extreme upper class, and you just hope that their prosperity will trickle down to the middle class and the lower class. Obviously, that hasn't been working, and then I don't know how people still get away with believing that that's going to work. And we're not talking about people from upper class. We're talking about people from middle class or lower class that still believe those are the politics that will make them um, gain more security and uh, reach a higher echelon. So it sounds very. I'm glad somebody's putting out that message because that needs to be spread around.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. And
Okay.
yeah, as someone who's not well versed in economics myself, what you just said, yeah, I'm trying to understand how does it trickle down unless you're at the mercy of those richer than you who can give you what they want when they want to, because you have no choice.
So
So
some of the points on it, I feel like they're saying the trickle down effect would be the investment back into the people or into their respective companies that will feed back to their employees, or instead of them buying, private jets or other assets just for them. But we see that's not necessarily the case. Granted, there are people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates that donate and you know give out a lot of their money that they earn, but I don't think that's a common thing.
yeah, and it seems like you're kind of at the mercy of whether they're willing to do that or not, as
Yeah,
opposed to like a guaranteed way
a
that people will
guaranteed.
not
Yeah.
be.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's a fascinating narrative. But I'll do my due diligence too before I speak any further on that, because I don't want to speculate or say anything incorrect.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anything else to wrap this up?
Man, no, I think we covered a lot of
Okay.
ground from the news blitz to the floppy flops with the
Oh
soccer
wow.
socks,
Yeah.
uh, privilege, guilt, the movies, Jubilee, TV shows, and then the whole gym. And yeah, no, I think that
Yeah,
was
that's all
a
I had. Yeah.
yeah. So
All right. We're gonna wrap this up. This was
yeah,
episode 6.
episode
Glad
six.
to be back. Hopefully you and change yourself or learn something or just pass the time. Kof, what you guys say?
Yeah, like AJ said, man, hopefully, thank you all for listening. If you took time to listen, we're just having conversations, sharing our wisdom as you should as well. Stay strong, stay healthy, and yeah, persevere.
All right. Sounds good.
And
Next
we out.
time.
The deep tides. Peace.